Top 10 NFL wildcard games of all time. Part 2. Number 5, The Catch 2. So, I'm going to start this out by just saying, yes, one video is not going to do it, so I had to make a second part. Now, number 5 is The Catch 2, the 98 NFC wildcard game between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers in San Fran. Now, if you don't know what The Catch is, the original The Catch was I believe it was the 81 NFC Championship. It was in San Fran, and as you all know, Montana to Clark. Fantastic reception. Had to get up high for that one, and he made the grab for their trip to the Super Bowl, and that's when the dynasty of the San Francisco 49ers really shapeshifted. They went from really bad to a dynasty and one of the best and the decade team of the 80s, and now, still respected for how many Super Bowls they have, as they have one of the most, pretty much, in NFL history. Now, the 98 wildcard game, very fun game, very, very entertaining for sure. Let's first take a look at what we got here, all right? As we look at the starters. 49ers first. QB, Steve Young. Running back, Garrison Hurst. Fullback, Mark Edwards. Receivers, Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens. Tight end, Greg Clark. Offensive line, Derek Deese, Ray Brown, Chris Dahlman, Kevin Gogan, and Kirk Scrafford. D ends, Roy Barker, Gabe Wilkins. Defensive tackles, Gabe Wilkins, Jr. Bryant. Chris Dahlman was the other D end to Roy Barker. My bad. Linebackers, Lee Woodall, Tony Peterson, Ken Norton. Corners and secondary, pretty much, Darnell Walker, Marcus Pope, Tim McDonald, and Merton Hanks. Packers starters, QB Brett Favre. Running back, Dorsey Levens. Fullback, William Henderson. Wideouts, Antonio Freeman, Robert Brooks. Tight end, Mark Chmura. Offensive line, Ross Verba, Marco Rivera, Jeff Dellenbach, Adam Timmerman, Earl Dotson. D ends, Vonnie Holliday, Reggie White. Defensive tackle, Gilbert Brown. Linebackers, George Kuntz, Bernardo Harris, Brian Williams, and the secondary, Craig Newsome, Tyrone Williams, Leroy Butler, and Darren Sharper. So, like I said, very entertaining game played out there in San Francisco. Two teams that pretty much in this decade won a Super Bowl. For the Packers, they just got off one of those Super Bowls, 96, 97 year. Then 96 pretty much was when they won it. 97 they got back finally, and unfortunately for them, they did lose to the Denver Broncos and a really, really determined John Elway. San Fran, they won in 94, just blowing out that team out there in San Diego, but they didn't get back. So this game in January 3rd, 99, pretty entertaining. You had, let's take a look at it. First quarter, 10 minutes, 14 seconds left. Ryan Longwell, 23-yard field goal is good, 3-0 Green Bay. 5 minutes left in the quarter. Greg Clark, 1-yard touchdown pass from Steve Young. It's 3-7 San Francisco. Second quarter, how about Brett Favre's 2-yard touchdown pass to Antonio Freeman? It is now 10-7 Green Bay. 7 minutes, 45 seconds left in the quarter. Wade Ritchie, 34-yard field goal. It's tied 10-10. And 36 seconds into the half, you got Dorsey Levens' 2-yard touchdown run. It is now 17-10 Green Bay. Coming to the third, Steve Young, 8-yard touchdown pass to Greg Clark with 9:53 left in the third, 17 all. Then Wade Ritchie's 48-yard field goal with 2 minutes 56 seconds left in the third made it 17-20. In the fourth, 12 minutes and 33 seconds left. Ryan Longwell, 37-yard field goal, 20 all. 7 minutes and 8 seconds left. Wade Ritchie, 40-yard field goal, 20-23. And then, once you thought, maybe San Fran can definitely get it and they can win 20-23, Antonio Freeman gets a touchdown pass from Brett Favre, 15-yarder, with 2 minutes left in the ball game. It's now 27-23 Green Bay. And then this is what makes it unbelievable. First of all, it was great to see them go back and forth. That's a great game. Secondly, the game-winning drive. Steve Young, 25-yard touchdown pass to Terrell Owens with 8 seconds left in the game, which made it 27-30, which San Francisco would hang on to. That's amazing because almost the last play of the game, and you're like, what is he going to do? Is Steve Young, we all know Steve Young. By this time he actually got a name for himself because he won a ring and he wasn't a shadow anymore. He was kind of the face of the 49ers at this time. And he did what the greats would do, and that is drive down the field and just sling one really nice pass to really one of the best wide receivers of all time in Owens. And that's what Owens did. He did just that. It wasn't Jerry Rice this time, it was Owens, and it was the rise of him for sure. A big-time rise for him. As he's the one that sealed the win, and it got San Francisco to pretty much defeat the Green Bay Packers and any chance that they were thinking of going back to the Super Bowl. So, all in all, fantastic game. You got to put this definitely along the tops of it. So, number 4, Music City Miracle. Of course, that would be the Tennessee version. The Buffalo version would be Buffalo Travesty or Tragedy, or Buffalo Why Again, or Buffalo Failure, whatever. I know Buffalo fans aren't very happy of this game, is where I'm getting at. After going to the AFC Championship, winning it 4 straight years, getting to the Super Bowl 4 straight years, yeah, for sure, getting blown out 4 straight years and wanting to get back there, and the fact that they lose in such a close ball game, it's harsh, man. It's hard for being Bills fans. It really is. But let's take a look at this. This game was played in pretty much in 2000, but it was the 99 season. Fantastic year for sure. Honestly, it was fantastic. But like I said, it's one of these games that are it's one of the top games out there of all time because of how the scenarios went and how close of a game it was. Like how great of a defensive battle it really was between two teams that were looking to, of course, chase the ultimate dream, which is get back to the big game for Buffalo or get to the big game for the first time ever in Tennessee and win a title. They both wanted a title, of course. So, let's take a look at the starters-wise, okay? Let's go to the Titans. QB, Steve McNair. Running back, Eddie George. Fullback, Lorenzo Neal. Wideouts, Kevin Dyson, Yancey Thigpen. Tight end, Frank Wycheck. Then you got offensive line, Brad Hopkins, Bruce Matthews, Kevin Long, Benji Olsen, and John Runyon. At the DNs, Javon Curse and Kenny Holmes. D tackles, Josh Evans, Jason Fisk. Linebackers, Eddie Robinson, Baron Wortham, Joe Bowden. And corners and secondary, Denard Walker, Samari Rolle, Blaine Bishop, and Marcus Robertson. On the Bills side, QB Rob Johnson, running back Thurman Thomas, receivers Andre Reed, Eric Moulds, and Kevin Williams, tight end Jay Reimersma, offensive line John Fina, Reuben Brown, Jerry Otrowski, Dusty Ziegler, and Marcus Spriggs, defensive ends Bruce Smith and Phil Hansen, nose tackle Ted Washington, linebackers Sam Rogers, John Holacek, Sam Cohart, and Gabe Northern, and corners and secondary Antoine Winfield, Thomas Smith, Henry Jones, and Kurt Scholes. So, very great defensive battle. Nonetheless, outdoors in pretty much one of these games, man, in Tennessee, they're just trying to get by, of course, trying to win a playoff game. So let's go to this. They didn't score at all in the first quarter. I'm just telling you that right now. In the second quarter, 11:19 remaining, safety, Kursak Johnson in the end zone. It's 2-0. 2-0 Tennessee. Okay. 7:55 left. Steve McNair, 1-yard touchdown run. It is 9-0. And then right as the half ended, Al DeGreco, 40-yard field goal. It's 12-0 Tennessee. Okay. 12-0. All right. Now, second half, third quarter, 12-28. Antoine Smith, 4-yard touchdown run. It's 7-12 now, Tennessee. Then, that's it. Fourth quarter comes around, 11:08. Antoine Smith, 1-yard rush. Unfortunately, they were trying to get a 2-point conversion. It wasn't successful. It's now 13-12. 1 minute 48 left in the quarter. Okay? Al DeGreco, 36-yarder. It's 13-15. All right, you're thinking, all right, Titans just need to stop. That's not the case. Johnson drives, good passes, pretty good runs. They try to get there. They get there. 16 seconds remaining in the game. Steve Christie, 41-yard. What looks like a dagger. It's 16-15 now. There's no way Tennessee's going to win this game. 3 seconds left in the ball game. They kick it. Okay? They kick the ball, and Kevin Dyson does not get the initial kickoff, first of all. I believe it was, who was it? I think maybe it was Kevin Dyson. All I know is that someone wasn't supposed to get the kickoff. It was supposed to be someone else, and he lateraled the pass to Kevin Dyson, and he ran it in for 75 yards, and that's it. And literally Tennessee fans were screaming their heads off, right? And Tennessee was like, that just happened? Did we actually just win this game? And Buffalo fans are like, did we actually just lose this game? And that's a game, just a thriller, dude. It's a thriller to the end. And that's why it's just a definition of sports is that it's not over till it's over. And that's the definition, as Buffalo had a 1-point lead with 16 seconds remaining. You don't expect anyone to score in 16 seconds, to be quite honest with you. Like, I don't expect anyone. They just need to do is kick it off and just tackle them. That's it. They're good. But no, Tennessee had something up their sleeve, and they were ready. They didn't want to go home. And that's, to me, wow. That's powerful stuff in terms of what I saw. Like, honestly, wow. Like, this was a great game, a fantastic game. And you got to put it in your top 5, honestly. It's a game-changing playoffs if Buffalo did end up winning this game. But that wasn't the case. Tennessee did not give up hope, and that's just sports for you. Number 3, a giant fail. So, 2002 NFC wildcard, it's Giants, it's 49ers, it's number 3. Because of exactly the story behind the game itself and what happened throughout the game. First of all, you have seen this game probably on my list in the past. If you have been watching me for a while, you will see that recently I actually put a list together, and it's got these two teams in this particular game in it. So let's go into it. Let's dive into it. First of all, let's go 49er starters. You got QB Jeff Garcia, running back Garrison Hurst, wideouts Terrell Owens, Ty Streets, and J.J. Stokes, tight end Eric Johnson, offensive line Derek Deese, Eric Heitman, Jeremy Newberry, Rob Stone, and Scott Gregg, defensive ends Andre Carter, Chike Okafor, defensive tackles Dana Stubblefield and Bryant Young, linebackers Julian Peterson, Derek Smith, Jeff Ulbrich, and secondary Ahmed Plummer, Mike Rumpf, Tony Parrish, and Zach Bronson. Giants, you got QB Kerry Collins, running back Tiki Barber, receivers Amani Toomer and Ron Dixon, tight end Dan Campbell, tight end Jeremy Shockey, offensive line Luke Pettigo, Rich Subert, Chris Bober, Jason Whittle, Mike Rosenthal. Defensive ends, you got Kenny Holmes, Michael Strahan, Cornelius Griffin, Frank Ferrara. Linebackers Brandon Short, Michael Barrow. And then you also got corners of Will Peterson and secondary, Sean Williams, Omar Stoudemire, Jason Sehorn, the linebacker, and Will Allen. So, like I said, fantastic game. Let's just dive into it. So you got the first quarter, 9:59 left. Jeff Garcia, 76-yard touchdown pass. Terrell Owens, it's 7-0 San Fran. 18 seconds left. 12-yard touchdown pass. Amani Toomer gets it from Kerry Collins. It's now up 7-7. Second quarter, 12-19. Kerry Collins, 2-yard touchdown pass to Jeremy Shockey, 14-7 Giants. 6:05. Kevin Barlow, 1-yard touchdown run. It's now 14-14 all. 2:49 left in the quarter. Kerry Collins, 8-yard touchdown pass to Amani Toomer, 21-14 Giants. And then 10 seconds left in the half. Kerry Collins, 24-yard pass to Amani Toomer, is 28-14 New York Giants. In the third quarter, 9:53 left. Tiki Barber's got a 6-yard touchdown run and is 35-14. And then with 4 minutes and 27 seconds left, Matt Bryant, 21-yard field goal. It's now 38-14, fellas. This is where it gets interesting. Michael Strahan looks up at Terrell Owens after this play. 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Jeff Garcia gets a 26-yard touchdown pass to Terrell Owens. It's now 38-22. He's smiling. He's happy. Michael Strahan looks and he's like, "Look at the scoreboard. You're losing right now. You're going to lose. There's no way around it." And I think that was the key point, is when Michael Strahan literally pointed to that screen and told Terrell Owens, "You guys aren't coming back." I'm not sure if he said that, but he definitely said, "Look at the scoreboard." Like, I can see his whole body language and how he was. And that's a major motivational for some teams, and that's exactly what it was. Because after that, in the fourth quarter, they got it done. 14:55, not even 5 seconds, not even 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Jeff Garcia gets a 14-yard touchdown run. And then on top of that, a 2-point conversion to Terrell Owens, pass from Jeff Garcia. It's now 38-30 San Fran. 7 minutes 49 left. You got Jeff Chandler, 25-yard field goal. It's 38-33. And then a minute left. Ty Street's 13-yard touchdown pass from Jeff Garcia. They tried to go for the 2-point, failed. It's now 38-39. Okay, but it gets even better. Giants actually drive down pretty well, and they're in field goal range. They might actually win. Yes, they blew the lead, but they're gonna get a win, in a tough game. And that's where it comes in. The snap was not on point. The holder just couldn't get a hold of it, so had to turn away, had to throw it, and it looked like it was going to Jeremy Shockey, and it looked like it was pass interference on the 49ers. They didn't call that. They just called game. And just like that, that's how the Giants went from winning by like 24 to losing by 1 point. And that, to me, is one of the most dramatic games ever, because it was a roller coaster. It went up and down, and then really kind of an up, and then it just went down all the way once that call was not made. They even looked at it. They thought no. I thought yes. I thought there was a pass interference in there from the 49ers perspective. They would say no, but I think so. But either or, fantastic game. It was a great game to watch. I think both fans could enjoy that game for sure, even on the losers' end of it. Number 2, Frank Reich is the hero. So Frank who? Who's that? That's probably what a lot of people thought when Buffalo and Houston were versing each other in the AFC wildcard. And this was, pretty much amidst of their dynasty years for the Houston Oilers. Just what a great, fantastic run they had. And honestly, it's one of these games you're like, wow, yeah, they really did deserve to be in the Super Bowl after this thing. Bills definitely deserve to be in the Super Bowl after exactly what they did here. Let's take a look. Jim Kelly was injured, so QB was Frank Reich. People didn't know who that was. People were like, we're done, dude. We're not going to get back to the Super Bowl. They had running back Thurman Thomas, fullback Carwell Gardner, receivers Andre Reed and James Lofton. You got tight end Pete Zellers, offensive line Will Wolford, Jim Richter, Kent Hull, Glenn Parker, Howard Ballard. You got defensive ends Bruce Smith and Phil Hansen, nose tackle Jeff Wright, linebackers Darryl Talley, Shane Conlon, and of course you got yourself, Cornelius Bennett there, and secondary you got Cliff Hicks, you got Nate Odomes, you got Mark Kelso and Henry Jones. Let's take a look at the Oilers, shall we? For the Oilers' perspective, they had QB Warren Moon. They had running back Lorenzo White, receivers Webster Slaughter, Curtis Duncan, Haywood Jeffries. Tight end Ernest Givens. Offensive line Don Maggs, Mike Munchak, Bruce Matthews, Doug Dawson, and David Williams. And then D-ends William Fuller, as well as Sean Jones. Defensive tackles Ray Childress and Doug Smith. Linebackers Al Smith, Eddie Robinson, and Chris Dishman. And you look at your secondary, Jerry Gray, Bubba McDowell, Marcus Robertson, Steve Jackson. So overall, fantastic lineup, really. Definitely Buffalo was the favorite to come in, but let's just take a look at what exactly happened. Let's take a look at the first quarter. You got Haywood Jeffries, 3-yard touchdown pass from Warren Moon. It's 7-0 Houston. Okay. Bills then answer with Steve Christie's 36-yarder. It's 7-3 now. Second quarter, Webster Slaughter, 7-yard touchdown pass from Warren Moon, 14-3 Houston. Curtis Duncan, 26-yard touchdown pass from Warren Moon, 21-3 Houston. Haywood Jeffries, 27-yard pass from Warren Moon, 28-3 at half. In the third quarter, Bubba McDowell, 58-yard interception return. It's 35-3 Houston. 35-3. And everything changed after that. Frank Reich was either going to be doing something in terms of he was going to start doing something now, or that was it. Buffalo's not going to be going back to the Super Bowl, and who knows what history would have turned out if that was the case. But then you got Kenneth Davis, his 1-yard touchdown run became 35-10. Don Beebe got a 38-yard touchdown pass from Frank Reich, 35-17. Andre Reed had a 26-yard touchdown pass from Frank Reich, 35-24. Andre Reed had an 18-yard touchdown pass from Frank Reich, 35-31. Andre Reed had a 17-yard touchdown pass from Frank Reich, 35-38. They clawed their way back from the third quarter and the fourth quarter pretty much because Frank Reich was on point in the third and the fourth. He just had a switch at half that's like, we need to win this game now. And he is a hero for this. He will be a hero for all time for what he did for this, honestly. Honestly, people will know who Frank Reich is in Buffalo, honestly. People might not know outside, but people that are true football fans, they know who Frank Reich is. He's fantastic. You know, if he had to pick one of his best games, I'm glad he picked this one because he gave Buffalo a chance. And, you know, Oilers, Al DeGreco, he tied the ball game up in the fourth quarter with a 26-yard field goal. But by that time, even if they tied it up, Buffalo knew they were going to win this game. And in overtime, Steve Christie, 32-yard field goal. Buffalo wins 41-38. Like, honestly, it was amazing seeing all the people getting out. Like, literally just getting out of the stadium and being like, yeah, this is over. Like, we're getting demolished here in Buffalo. There's no point. I want to stay for this shellacking, this smacking of a loss. But Frank Reich never, ever quit. And that's what I love about this game is that it pushed their boundaries and they got it done when they most needed someone to get it done. He was able to fill Jim Kelly's spot, which is not easy to do. And he did it. So, number one, offense is the best defense. We're looking at the highest scoring NFC wildcard or any playoff game of all time. The 2009 NFC wildcard against the Green Bay Packers and the Arizona Cardinals was very, very, very exciting. Kurt Warner against Aaron Rodgers. What was going to happen? Were they going to, who was going to win? Again, Green Bay was the favorite to win this game. Even though they were in Arizona, they were the favorite. As you know, they lost the Super Bowl, Arizona, and they were looking to, get back. And, let's just first take a look at the starters. You got Kurt Warner at QB, Tim Hightower running back, receivers Larry Fitzgerald, Steve Breston, Early Doucette, tight end Ben Patrick, offensive line Jeremy Bridges, Reggie Wells, Lyle Seinlin, Deuce Latuy, and Levi Brown. Defensive end Alan Branch. You also got Brian Robinson, nose tackle, defensive tackle Darnell Dockett, linebacker Clark Higgins, Chike Okafor, Carlos Dansby, and Gerald Hayes. Secondary Dominic Rogers-Cromartie, Bryant McFadden, Adrian Wilson, and Antrell Roll. Packers starters: QB Aaron Rodgers, running back Ryan Grant, receivers Donald Driver and Greg Jennings, tight end Donald Lee, also tight end Jermichael Finley, offensive line Chad Clifton, Darren College, Scott Wells, Josh Sidden, and Mark Toshker, defensive ends Johnny Jolly and Colin Jenkins, linebackers Brad Jones, Nick Barnett, Brandon Chillar, and Clay Matthews, and secondary Charles Woodson, Jarrett Bush, Tramon Williams, Atari Bigby, and Nick Collins. So, pretty good defensive teams, but there was absolutely like no defense whatsoever in this game. It was just fully equipped offense. So let's just take a look. Let's just go at it because there's too much scoring in here. 11 minutes and 4 seconds. Tim Hightower, 1-yard touchdown run, 7-0 Arizona. 9 minutes 16. Early to set, 15-yard touchdown pass from Kurt Warner. It's now 14-0 Arizona. Then 34 seconds left in the first. Neil Rackers, 23-yard field goal. It's now 17-0 Arizona. Second quarter, 6 minutes 52 seconds. Aaron Rodgers, 1-yard touchdown run. It's 7-17. Then 2 minutes 16 left. Early dose set, 15-yard touchdown pass from Kurt Warner. 7-24 Arizona. And then right at the half, Mason Crosby, 20-yard field goal, 10-24. Already it was like kind of a blowout. Arizona definitely looked like the team that was going to win this game. They were at home. They just didn't. Green Bay didn't seem that confident, and Aaron Rodgers again was pretty new to the spotlight of the playoffs. Pretty much already it was great. It's just, exactly what was going to happen. We didn't realize what was going to happen. Third quarter, second half now, 11 minutes and 15 seconds left. Larry Fitzgerald, 33-yard touchdown pass from Kurt Warner. It's now 10-31, and like I said, Arizona is getting that we're gonna win kind of attitude because they just are on. But then 7 minutes and 20 seconds left. Greg Jennings, he's got a 6-yard pass from Aaron Rodgers. It's 17-31. 4 minutes and 7 seconds left in the third. Jordy Nelson, 11-yard touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers. It's now 24-31. 2 minutes 34 seconds. Cardinals, Larry Fitzgerald, 11-yard touchdown pass from Kurt Warner. It's now 24-38. Fourth quarter, Green Bay responds. 14 minutes pretty much left in the quarter. James Jones, 30-yard touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers, makes it 31-38. 10 minutes and 57 seconds left. John Kuhn, 1-yard touchdown run. It's now tied 38-all. 4 minutes and 55 seconds left. Steve Breston, 17-yard touchdown pass from Kurt Warner, 38-45 Arizona. But then a minute 52 left. Aaron Rodgers, 11-yard touchdown pass to Spencer Havner. It's now 45-all. Fantastic game. And then it didn't take long. Overtime, 13 minutes and 42 seconds left. Packers win the toss. And Carlos Dansby gets a 17-yard defensive fumble touchdown return to end the game. Arizona wins 45-51. Aaron Rodgers unfortunately loses this game, but this was a high-flying offense against a high-flying offense, which really we thought would be kind of a defensive battle because they had some good defensive players on both teams. But no, they got torched, and it was such a great game to watch, back and forth, back and forth. There was one time it was super lopsided with Arizona, but then after it just started to be that back and forth action, and it was pretty great to see. One of definitely number one, and like I said, one of my favorites. I definitely like to watch it a lot, sometimes, honestly. It's on YouTube, so you can definitely watch this game. Fantastic game, just really exciting.